2016, I already talked about how weird this year was. Like this hat, it was a gift. I like it. It's got Mickey Mouse on it. But yeah, like I said in my music list, a lot of blockbusters really sacked up and did not deliver this year. And we lost a lot of celebrities this year. We just lost Carrie Fisher and her mother, both of them extremely important to cinema. Man, what a shitty way to end what a lot of people consider one of the shittiest years. I can't really bring it up from that, other than talk about my cinematic experiences of 2016. Now, I didn't see that many movies this year. I got budget problems and all. So this is going to be a list of the movies I saw from worst to best. Feel free to disagree. This isn't going to be the best movies. These are just going to be the movies I thought were the worst and the best. You're not going to see a lot of Oscar bait. You're not going to see a bunch of cinematic movies or shit like that. These are the movies I saw. Spoiler alert, my favorite genre is superhero. So with that out of the way, let's start with the 3 worst movies I saw this year. Starting from the bottom, let's get this over with! The worst movie I saw this year! Sausage Party! I don't really even want to talk about this. We know why this movie sucks ass, don't we? The Atheist Veggie Tales. Look! If you're an atheist, that's fine. If you're a Christian, that's fine. You both deserve better films. I didn't see any of the really shitty Christian films that came out this year. What was the one about Columbine? Oh, fuck me. No way I'm seeing that one without getting really pissed off. Hell, if I saw it, that'd probably be the worst movie this year. But Sausage Party is the opposite problem. Instead of intelligently tackling the problems with organized religion that a lot of people have, nope. Christians suck because they don't want to have lots of sex and they don't want to smoke pot. That's it. The rest of the movie is just really stupid, shallow shock humor. This also gets the worst of the list because of how shitty the animators were treated. Read up on that shit. The production team, the producers, the directors, they all treated the animators, the lifeblood of this movie, like utter dog shit. They denied them overtime, which I'm pretty sure is illegal. And the animators couldn't bitch, or they couldn't quit, or they'd be blacklisted. So fucking angry at this movie, you have no idea. Not because of the shitty take on atheism. Atheism deserves a hell of a lot better than this. But I digress. Sausage Party, fuck you, Seth Rogen. Fuck you, you talentless pile of dog shit. The second worst movie I saw this year. Well, you saw my reactions, my most popular video. The second worst movie is Ghostbusters. I don't want to get into a political argument again. I very well could. Because there's a lot of identity politics around this movie, which is why the movie failed. I'm not getting into that. This movie is on this list because it just plain sucks. The characters aren't memorable, the characters have very little chemistry together, the movie just plain isn't fucking funny, and the CGI really takes a shit in the third act. Yes, I actually went and saw this thing. No, I didn't pay for it, I snuck in. Again, because they're not getting any of my fucking money. And my god, what the fuck was with that third act? Why are you trying to make the Ghostbusters superheroes? With the fucking Skyginas that a lot of superhero movies have this year? That's not who the Ghostbusters were. They were scientists coming together and you're trying to make them up as superheroes. There's a little bit that there, but it's not enough. It's just not a funny comedy movie. It really isn't. And again, seeing the defenders of this movie double down on the bullshit that was around the promotion of this movie, it just... Let me tell you, 2017 politically is not going to be any different than 2016. It's going to be annoying. Liberals are going to lose a hell of a lot more because they're all doubling down on... I said it wasn't going to be political. Ghostbusters sucked. Next. Well, after the feminist grandstanding of Ghostbusters, why don't we go to a good old testosterone-filled patriarchal action flick. Too bad it had to be Jason Bourne. What? Why would they make such a big stink about getting Paul Greengrass and Matt Damon back when they were just gonna phone it in? This movie is the worst of all spy action movie cliches put together. The pointless fridging of... I fucking hate that word because I hate Gail Simone, but it's true. A female character from the last movie gets fridged. And we spend an incredibly boring journey with Jason Bourne against an antagonist assassin that nobody knows who he is, has no personality, and just exists in this movie, and to make some bullshit thing about how it ties into Jason Bourne's past? No, it's stupid and contrived, and there's no heart or soul behind this movie at all. Bring back Hawkeye. He made the Bourne legacy a hell of a lot better than it should have been. Where's his personality in this? Because we got Matt Damon back and he's here to just frown through the whole mess. I don't know how successful this movie is. I don't think it was that successful. But if we do get a sixth Bourne film, both with Aaron Cross and Jason Bourne, it's only going to be better because Aaron Cross is in it. Take Greengrass away. I don't think Paul Greengrass has seen any action spy movies since he stopped making Bourne movies. Because this is just all the same boring cliches we've seen in spy movies the past couple of years. Yeah, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm pissed off. This movie blew. This movie shouldn't have blown as hard as it did, but goddammit it did. Now that I'm done being angry, let's talk about the movies I kind of liked this year. Now, even though I liked all these movies, this list is going from the movies I liked the least to the movies I liked the most this year. And then we're going to have a top 3 of the movies I absolutely love this year. Starting off this list is the low-budget horror The Boy. As an extremely low-budget horror film, this actually nailed some pretty good atmospheric points. The lead in the movie, she was great. Great, and it's sort of a been-there, done-that horror premise of a haunted doll, but not wishing to give away the ending. I actually didn't see that coming. Props to the movie for doing something original. Next up is 10 Cloverfield Lane. Another low-budget. I think it was low-budget. The sad thing is, it doesn't tie into the previous Cloverfield movie, because the producers thought the kaiju movement was dead. Eat a dick. Giant monsters are awesome. And John Goodman stars as John Badman. As a pretty terrifying antagonist for our hero. She's okay. There have been better protagonists in these kinds of movies, but she does her job well, and it's actually pretty thrilling. I just wish it tied into the first Cloverfield movie. The next movie is The Conjuring 2. It's definitely a step down from the first Conjuring movie, because sometimes this movie goes a bit too far in the stupid direction, but it's James Wan doing a James Wan horror film. The dude just knows how to make that atmosphere work. Even though he's gone on to doing big blockbusters like Fast and the Furious 7, guy can still do some great horror movies. I hope he still does horror movies now that he's a big shot multi-billion-dollar director. Isn't he doing Aquaman now? I digress. The Conjuring 2 was a damn good sequel to the first Conjuring. Definitely inferior, but still really good. The next movie I liked, X-Men Apocalypse. Oh man, okay. X-Men Apocalypse had a really good cast. The cast had some really good special effects. It really made up for a story that kind of sort of wasn't that great. Now, a lot of people who are fans of the comics do view this as a butchering of the Apocalypse storylines. This is right in the fact that the Quicksilver scene isn't as good as the last Quicksilver scene from Days of Future Past. That being said, I can't hate this movie. Not only did the cast really do a damn good job, I think, even Apocalypse, even though a lot of people... I mean, yeah, it wasn't the best portrayal of Apocalypse, but it still worked. And the Michael Fassbender stuff, he's a fantastic actor, giving life to a lot of really dark and dramatic scenes. That scene with his family is probably one of the best scenes I've seen in any X-Men movie. And the fact that the stakes are probably the highest they've been, which a lot of people don't think is a great thing for the X-Men movies, because remember X-Men 3, The Last Stand? Those were the highest stakes the movies have ever had up to that point, and the movie wasn't very good. This movie did deal with the apocalypse of the Earth, and it didn't end up doing all that great. I'm rambling, I know, but I still like the movie for what it was. And I don't think the X-Men movies are going anywhere. A lot of people think after this movie sort of flopped that Marvel's been eyeing the rights to the movie, but the hype for Logan is real. The other X-Men movie that came out this year was a hell of a lot better and did a lot more record-shattering than this one did. And they have a TV series coming on TV. Legion's going to be on TV soon, and it's going to be part of the X-Men Cinematic Universe. I think the X-Men are fine. Okay, my next movie I liked was Batman Superman. Oh god, okay. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. He's doing a damn fine job. Batman kicked a lot of ass. Yes, I know he killed people, but it works for this universe. Okay, this movie couldn't have been as good. This movie couldn't have been really good because executive meddling, they had to catch up to Marvel, okay? But to catch up to Marvel the way they did it, I don't think there's any other way it could have been done. It's still really cool, despite the fact that the pacing was a bit weird. I mean, the Ultimate Edition did help by adding more scenes, help pad out the time to make the pacing seem a bit more natural. And Wonder Woman kicked ass. Gal Gadot surprised me by being a damn good representation of Wonder Woman. It was an absolute fucking mess, but I still liked it. What more do you want from me? The next movie I liked this year was Warcraft. I have never played World of Warcraft. I have never played Warcraft because I hate MMOs and I hate turn-based strategy games. So how did I like this movie? The orcs were cool. I like the orc heroes of this movie. A lot of other actors did really phone it in. The MCU veterans who are capable of better should have done better. But the human lead, the dude from Vikings, he kicked a lot of ass. The movie looked fucking beautiful. Like, holy shit. They put a lot of that money into the green screen. Thank you, Overwatch, for funding this movie. And the magic. Like I said in my review, I love the magic. I really like seeing magic. I like the magic in this movie and another movie that came out this year much more than Harry Potter. Whereas Harry Potter, a lot of the magic is just like making shit float or looking cool. Whereas Warcraft magic can actually hurt a motherfucker. That's probably what I like the most about the magic in this movie. And the fact that that's kind of what sold the movie to me. They're probably not going to make a sequel, but I kind of wish they did. Another movie I really liked this year, oh god damn it. Screw it, I really liked Suicide Squad. Okay? I understand what people didn't like about this movie. I get it. I still really liked this movie. I liked its pacing. I liked its attitude. I liked the protagonist. I really fucking love El Diablo. The dude who shot fire. Wish we could see him again in other movies, but if you saw the movie, you know that we're not going to have that happen. It had a fuck ton of problems, I'll admit. But I honestly believe that its strengths outweigh its weaknesses. This had a lot of problems Marvel movies do, and those get a pass. Why not this one? Yes, even though I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, everyone has a bias towards them. They're not willing to give the DC movies a chance that they need. I think that's bullshit. That being said, the Marvel movies are a hell of a lot better. We'll get to those in a second. And the movie I liked the most this year, Star Wars Rogue One. That was a hell of a lot better than The Force Awakens. By being a dark and dirty movie. With pretty good scenes of warfare in there, actually. Like, I also made fun of a lot of people. A lot of really shittily written articles that said Rogue One is the first Star Wars movie about war. Like, well, no, it clearly isn't, because the whole movies are about wars in the stars. But this one actually kind of brought it down to a more dark personal level. There's no Jedi in this movie, I think. That blind dude's not really a Jedi. And yeah, we really needed to spend more time with these characters, but man, that was entertaining. And you know going into this movie that these characters are doomed, but it's very cool to see this story come to fruition. It's a story we didn't really need to know being told. And I know a lot of EU fanatics are decrying this movie. I saw one really stupid Tumblr post about someone really butthurt about it, but the EU can suck, people. The Yuuzhan Vong, that was fucking stupid. Don't try and tell me the Yuuzhan Vong were good or anything. Anyway, what the hell am I talking about? Rogue One. A new, slightly more adult take on the Star Wars universe, which really makes me want to know if they're going to revive Star Wars 1313, because that game looked badass. Please revive it. Please revive it. Please, please, please revive it. And now that that's done with, I want to talk about some honorable mentions. Every other animated movie that came out this year, Arrival, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and Star Trek. I heard all these movies were great. I didn't see them. So they're honorable mentions. And now for the 3 best movies I saw this year, and they're all Marvel. Number 3, Doctor Strange. How did that work? Somebody tell me how they were able to get Doctor Strange to work. And not only work, knock it right the hell out of the park. Of course the movie's not perfect. It's a bit too fast in the beginning, and all of a sudden he's instantly the Sorcerer Supreme. But Benedict Cumberbatch. Love him or hate him, you can't deny the dude has talent. And he gives Doctor Strange much more life. He completely disappears into the role. I don't see Benedict Cumberbatch. Unlike, say, Star Trek and Sherlock, where I'm like, that's Benedict Cumberbatch playing a character, this dude melts into the role perfectly. as House MD when the M stands for magic. And again, I love this magic. Combat magic is what I fucking love more than the Harry Potter wand flicking. And now that the gates are wide open for more magic movies, I hope we, in a couple of years, get Avengers as a Supernatural. The second best movie of the year, Captain America Civil War. I understand that a lot of people like to strike this movie down because it just assumes you know everything about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but $1.5 billion at the box office, yeah, everybody already knows about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that argument's right out the window. This proved that the Russo brothers can't handle Infinity War. Not just because the action in the tarmac scene will go down in history as one of the best scenes of any superhero movie ever made, but because they can still bring the heart to it. They can still bring, passion. They can still bring creativity. They can still make things dramatic and dark when they need to. That fight at the end between Cap, Bucky, and Iron Man, it's a great fight scene, but it pulls at your heartstrings because you know that these people shouldn't be fighting, especially not under these circumstances, when they're fighting for vengeance and in pure anger and hatred. It's going to be interesting to see how these people follow up when they reunite in Infinity War, because Tony's probably going to punch the shit out of Captain America when they reunite. I'm going to be interesting to see that. But yeah, Civil War. Phase 3 is in good hands. And number 1. The first movie I reviewed, barring my introduction video, it was the first video I made. Deadpool! Words cannot express how perfect this movie is. It's perfect. Ryan Reynolds finally realizes the Deadpool character he's wanted to portray for a very long time. The movie is funny as shit. The movie has spectacular action for its small budget. The movie shattered records, being the biggest R-rated opening film of all time, proving to a lot of these companies that you can make R-rated films and the fans will still go see it. And yeah, it's R-rated because of the violence and the nudity. It's very much R-rated. And oh yeah, the fuck ton of swearing. Because of this, we're getting Logan. And I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe will follow suit and make more adult-oriented stuff. Yeah, they're kicking ass with the Defenders being much more adult-oriented on Netflix, but hopefully they can make their movies. They can have some R-rated movies in there. They just proved that Deadpool can make R-rated superhero movies work much better than, say, Watchmen and Punisher, which were fun in their own right, but this movie does not compromise anything about the original Deadpool, while keeping it insanely funny and insanely entertaining in the action. And with a lot of heart to it. I mean, this is definitely a love story movie as well as a superhero comedy. And because of all that, this movie is nothing but brilliant, and I can't praise it enough. My number 1 movie of the year, Deadpool. And just like that, we're done with 2016. Again, since this is my second list video. Looking at the schedule for next year, looking at the previews for next year, it's going to be even better. I am fairly certain Power Rangers won't suck. Fairly certain. Now, what the fuck are they doing with Goldar? I'm Artemis Kane. I need to catch up with some movies as well. What were your favorite movies this year? Leave them in the comments. And I will see you all next year with more videos. Take care.